Hello, and welcome to A Star to Steer Her By, a Star Trek podcast. Extreme.
You had
Why?
like 4 different voices there.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
It's that extreme. That's how extreme it is.
It's so extreme.
At first I thought you were doing like spooky Halloween voice, and then it went to all kinds of places.
Now it's just like wrestling announcer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not the Rock episode either, so...
I know, yeah.
Get your act together.
I didn't intro that one, so I couldn't do it. No, this is not that episode. In fact, this is a different episode. The episode that this is, of course, is Good Shepherd and Live Fast and Prosper. Those are 2 episodes, of course, of Star Trek The Voyager. And my name is Jake, and I'm joined today by...
Chris.
Oh, this is Captain Janeway.
Janeway!
Wink.
Wish I thought of that.
Caitlin.
Nice.
Oh, no, wait. I'm Ames.
Oh
There
my
we go.
god!
Damn it.
All right. Well, yeah, so as mentioned, the 2 episodes we're covering today are Good Shepherd and Live Fast and Prosper. Those are 2 season 6 episodes of Voyager. We're getting there, folks. We're getting close.
So weird.
Yeah, I know, right? Feels like just yesterday we were hanging out with Cass.
Mm.
Oh, Cass.
Oh, and what episode is this of ours?
This is episode 302.
Whoa!
Ooh.
Yeah, that's right. It's we're also getting up there in the numbers.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But yeah, so to start with, we'll be talking about Good Shepherd. Now, I feel like this episode is could best be summarized as, what if TNG's lower decks, but everyone is Barclay?
Good. I mean, there was a little also... What was the episode? I think it was season 1 where we met Chell. What was that piece of crap?
Yeah, I was half expecting one of the dunce officers to actually be Chell, but no, they're just 3 randos that we've never seen before.
But yes, Jake said the same thing. It's like the weird bastard child of Lower Decks and that Tuvok training Maquis people episode.
Yeah, but I feel like the reason I mentioned Barclay is because the 3 characters we meet are all like aspects of Barclay's character.
Oh, you're right.
Because
Yeah, I guess so.
we have Billy, who is a hypochondriac, as we saw Barclay do in Genesis, which in that case it turned out to be real, but
True.
And Realm of Fear a bit.
yep. Oh yeah,
which
that's
again
true,
turned out to be true.
kind of true. Yeah, we have Tal, the Bajoran officer, who is just incompetent and also Barclay quality. And then we have Mortimer, or as we call him, only his mother calls
Morty!
him. Not even his mother calls him Mortimer.
Yeah.
Everyone calls him Heron.
What does his mother call him?
Aaron,
Asshole.
Shithead.
Mistake.
Yes.
Jagoff, who is the... I don't know what his job on the ship is. He just kind of hangs out literally on the lowest deck.
And bitches when he has to work.
And bitches when he has to work. Because all of his other time he spends dreaming up fanciful theoretical physics problems to solve and disprove things. So, yeah. But as we see in the episode,
the thing about disproving stuff like that is if it's never been disproven, who checks your work? Like, how do you know when you're successful? He really is a jagoff.
You gotta trust the math, lady.
I'm sure that's actually a thing. I don't know.
Creative use of the minus sign for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, so and he basically admits during the episode that he's only in Starfleet because he needed the course credits or something in order to get to do his real job that he wants to do, which is be a theoretical physicist of some kind.
Be a literal equation.
But yeah, so we're introduced to these 3 characters near the top of the episode, and then turns out that 7 of 9 has been doing what she does best, and that's judge everybody.
Yes, she's great.
And she has compiled some efficiency reports for all of the ship's departments, and she specifically calls out these 3 young not so go-getters and says that these kids are the weakest links in their respective departments, and we should probably shoot them out the airlock. And Janeway's
Borg
like,
nanoprobes help.
possibly.
Always.
Janeway's like, you know what? I don't think that's a great idea. You know what? I'm going to take these kids under my wing. We're going to go on like a little fun field trip, check out this, this anomaly thing that we've detected. Because I'm so great, I will get these kids to come out of their shell and become productive or more productive members of the crew. So that's what happens. They take the Delta Flyer. It's just Janeway and the 3 misfits. And they go off on a little adventure. And shortly into their adventure, they get hit, evidently, by something in space that they can't see. And it tears a big chunk off the Delta Flyer. And then...
What does Heron think it is?
No, Heron thinks it's some kind of black dark matter something.
Dark matter comet, I think?
Dark matter comet is what he thinks it is. And if so, it's attracted to antimatter. So that's why it hit the ship, because it was trying to get at the antimatter. And then he's like, we got to dump all the rest of the antimatter or else it'll come back and bite us again. And Janeway's like, nah, but then we'll never be able to get the ship started again and we'll be trapped out here in space for a long time.
Well, not that long. They'd die.
That's true. But he's very insistent. Anyway, throughout the episode, they're just basically trying to solve this problem and figure out what's wrong with the ship, or figure out how to fix the ship, and also how to avoid getting, further calamity. And each of the crew demonstrates their unique inability to do their jobs at various points. We see Tal constantly fucking up. Janeway has to check all of her work because she's terrible at her job, and she knows it as well, which is a nice change. Good old Billy is constantly freaking out about his various ailments that he probably doesn't have. And Heron is just a jackass to everybody and is like, I want to do things my way. You're all dumb and wrong, and I'm right. And but of course, in the end,
it's Janeway's fault we're out here in the first place, and I seem to blame her viciously.
Yep.
Well,
yeah. So it does not really go according to plan for Janeway.
No.
But in the end, eventually, Billy does get sucked into subspace or something, and then infected with some kind of a parasite monster.
Mm-hmm.
So great for the hypochondriac, but somehow through that process, he manages to lose his hypochondria, because once the creature leaves him, he's like, oh, it's gone. I don't feel sick anymore.
Nearly actually dying suddenly made me less afraid of dying, which, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Tal doesn't really ever do much, but
Nope.
she has some good ideas, creative thinking, which Janeway kind of calls out and is like, that.
Did they ever use any of it?
I don't think so.
She's just here. No one actually develops.
Except Billy.
Yeah, well, but
in
Billy
the
develops
way.
in the wrong direction, because Billy, and then Heron completely, he just stays a dickhead the whole time. When the alien creature comes out of Billy and starts trying to tap into the ship, he shoots it despite Janeway giving him a direct order not to. And then all of the creature's friends start chasing the ship.
I think it was because Janeway told him not to. And he's like, no, you're not my mom, and my mom doesn't even call me Mortimer.
So they're being chased down by these alien critters, and now they have to kill them because otherwise they will destroy the ship. So Janeway comes up with this plan to phaser some gas that'll blow them up, and then she's like, all right, well, this plan's very dangerous, so I'm not going to make you three stay here and die if the plan doesn't work, so I'm going to send you all off in escape pods. And, of course, Tal and Billy are like, no, we're with you to the end, Captain. We won't abandon you. And then Heron's like, yeah, fuck you, I'm out. But it turns out he was actually going to try to be heroic and go fight the aliens one-on-one in an escape pod or something. But Janeway's like, that fucking moron. No, that's not gonna fucking work. So she has to swoop back around, rescue fucking Heron, blow up the aliens, which she didn't want to do because killing aliens is not a thing that she loves doing.
Unless they're Tuvix.
Yeah, unless they're Tuvix, and unless she can also blow up the ship at the same time. And then, but of course, in the explosion, everyone's knocked unconscious, and she wakes up in sickbay, and all of her crew are safe. And somehow she still manages to pat herself on the back at the end by saying that the mission was a success.
Yeah,
but
even
obviously it wasn't.
None of them get another line to say like, good, I feel so much better about being part of a team now. It's like, no, you're just unconscious. Fuck it.
Yeah, there's this moment where she's looking around sickbay at all of them. They're all still unconscious. And I'm just thinking like she sees Tal and she's like, okay, yeah, Tal, at least Tal's all right. She looks over at Billy. She's like, okay, yeah, Billy, he developed a tiny bit. He lost his hypochondria. And then she looks over, she's here, and she goes, fuck. That guy, fuck.
Yeah, when it ended, I was like, wait, this is how we're ending? We don't get an epilogue? We don't actually see if anything positive came of this? Like, as far as I can tell, you've made Mortimer suicidal. Tal probably still thinks she's incompetent. And, yeah, like, Billy now probably thinks he's invincible. Like, he's got
Billy.
Mr. Burns syndrome.
Somebody get that man to the Air Force. Oh, wait.
This episode was terrible.
Yeah.
It was
I didn't like any of the characters. I thought it was distracting the whole time that we hadn't met any of them before when they seemed to be like very important characters on the ship.
Yeah, like at least when they pulled this ages ago with Tuvok and the Maquis, it was really early on. So you could be like, yeah, of course we haven't met people yet.
I feel like at this point, with this number of episodes into Voyager that we should have met everyone by now, and somehow we still haven't.
Yeah.
Well, I do like I thought it was kind of cool that we went to the lowest deck of the ship.
That was funny.
And
Janeway didn't even know her way around, and that was fine.
Yeah, like she's literally never been there before. And I'm not surprised that there are people in the crew that we haven't met, like the people that work down there.
Well, I think it's not so much that we haven't met them, it's just that like you said, Ames, it's like they're apparently really integral insofar that they're fucking everything else up by their presence, but they're news to everyone except Seven.
I was gonna say, I think Heron kind of makes sense for that.
Yeah, he keeps under the radar.
True. His whole thing is just Yeah,
he just doesn't want anyone to notice him. The fact that Tal is evidently like Seven of Nine's assistant or something.
And I think this is the first time we've seen any non-main character in Astrometrics.
Yeah. So that was a little weird. I think I would have liked it better if all three of these characters were like people that worked in the basement.
Maybe. Yeah, because I feel like also if Telfer, Billy, is such a hypochondriac, he should have been in the background in sickbay in every single fucking episode.
that would have been incredible if they had done that.
Long game. He's been there since season 1.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be in the George Lucas special edition of Voyager.
How the actual fuck did Billy survive any of the other previous incidences when people were constantly getting injured? How did he go into cryo during the episode 1 where everyone had to go into cryo? How did he not become a central point of Billy won't do it because he's a hypochondriac and won't go in there?
I would say he might like cryo because the germs can't get you in there.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. I'm just imagining the Silverblood version of Billy.
Oh, God.
And like how much he must have been freaking out when the Silverblood shit was happening.
His dying words, "I told you so!"
Actually, I wonder because they did make it optional to donate your DNA to the Silverblood people.
Good point.
Maybe he never did.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it would be scary.
I would like to disagree mildly with you, Jake, on Tal, though. She actually is incompetent. People just think Barclay is because he's so bad at expressing himself. Whereas what usually ends up happening is he ends up actually kind of knowing his shit when people give him a chance.
Yeah, well, the thing about Tal, too, is that she might not be incompetent. It might just be a case of imposter syndrome where she thinks she sucks and
she's
therefore
doubting.
Yeah, it's a vicious
Yeah,
it's a vicious cycle kind of thing. Like, the self-doubt is very Barclay, certainly. I think what it is like, yeah, maybe she wasn't great at first, and because she doubts herself, she just self-sabotages, and if she just stopped self-doubting, she'd get better.
Yeah, but they don't show that in the episode.
No, at all.
But they kind of try to hint at it a little bit when Janeway's like, no, nobody else would have thought of that idea to beam the ship fragment back on board, which I'm sure everybody would have thought of that. But whatever. Janeway was trying to pump her tires. I get it.
Yeah.
But also just, I wish they had shown that, like, Tal had some kind of talents or unique skill that made her valuable. Because as it stands, she's just shown as being...
Great with the replicator. Great taking orders.
Oh, yeah. She made a great soup.
That soup looked good.
It did.
Yeah. And, like, it just seems like it defeats the whole purpose of the episode that they didn't. I feel like they must have, like, deleted scened something where Tal shows herself to be competent.
Yeah, like literally Janeway just swoops in at the end, saves the day, and is like, great, I've developed everyone by myself.
I will never talk to any of these people ever again.
Yeah. And, you know, and I kind of feel the same way, or I feel, not the same way, but I feel a similar way about Billy in that he's not shown to be incompetent, but his only quality is that he's a hypochondriac. Like, he doesn't seem to have a job other than bother the doctor.
And texts and texts Sal constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just kind of wish, like, the only one of these characters that has anything, honestly, outside of their, like, one trait is Heron, who, unfortunately, the thing that he is an asshole.
Yeah, yeah. I love, too, that his job is literally pointless.
Well, it has to be, because if you give him a job to do, he won't do it because he's so embittered to the whole idea of being on a team with other living beings that it's like, nope, I won't do my job. I'll just go back to my quarters and solve theorems and play Sudoku and.
Yeah, but that was funny during that opening shot, which I hated. Like, I think they wanted it to be kind of clever, but I just sort of hated following the pad around. I don't know why it bothered me.
Yeah, he would not stop. He was like, who is this? What? Where are we going now?
Yeah, it's like somebody was watching The West Wing and was like, okay, we gotta follow characters carrying papers between offices.
Yeah, like they wanted it to be way smarter than it was, and I just hated it. And that just set the tone for the rest of the fucking episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he literally just sits at a panel to reroute power, which I'm sure they could have done from a panel in engineering. I'm
sure there's a robot that does it.
Yeah, he does have a great window, though, for if you're in orbit of something.
Yeah, that's true. That's not a bad spot. I could see that being like a makeout spot on the ship.
I think I read that window doesn't exist on the model. It's only really in his room because they wanted him to have a window.
Fair enough.
I think it would have worked better and served the plot better if he didn't have a window. If he was in like a tiny closet and that's just where he was all the time.
I mean, the thing is, in reality, that's where he would be and he'd be perfectly fine. But they wanted to emphasize to the audience how in the bowels he was.
Yeah.
You know who I loved though? That blue shirt who loved being in the basement.
Oh yeah,
but
Mitchell, was it Mitchell?
Maybe, I don't know.
Like I think Janeway knew his name too.
Yeah, so. Crewman Mitchell. I have a note on him.
Oh,
because I don't know if you all know who that is, but that is Tom Morello, the guitarist of Rage Against the Machine and Audio Slave.
What?
Really?
Who is a huge Trekkie apparently, and like had been asking to be on the show. In Insurrection, he's in the background in a group shot, but I guess like he was still like, I still want to be in Star Trek, please. And they gave him some lines, and he did a fine job.
So that's the thing, is he wasn't acting. He was so happy to be there.
Yay!
But yeah, I don't know what Mitchell's job is, but he fucking loves it. Like, Mortimer likes being where he is because people leave him alone. He doesn't actually like his job. Whatever it is Mitchell does down there, he is just, like, fucking pumped.
I bet you Mitchell is, like, the supervisor for that whole crew. So, like, every day he has to go up to Heron, like, because Heron obviously doesn't want to do any work. So every day Mitchell has to go up to him and be like, now you do what they told you.
It's a song.
There we go. That is.
I'm sorry.
That is great, though. Wow.
Killing in the name. It's a Rage Against the Machine song.
Thank you, Jake.
But yeah, no. The way I thought of these various people, to Jake's point, I definitely got Barclay vibes, but mostly from Telfer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Billy. And he also was in blue and had sort of a long face. So even though he doesn't look at all like him, I thought of him as, what did I call him in my head? Julian Berkshire.
Oh, God.
Tal was not Cedo Jaxa.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And Mortimer Harron was Bug. Because he played Bug, the bad boyfriend in Uncle Buck.
Oh, God, it's been so long, Uncle Buck. No, I thought of Harron as, like, if anyone's been following with the latest Picard season, as just Shaw a couple years earlier.
Yeah, that's what they should have.
Like
they should have called
Shaw.
Harron. Like,
God, no. Shaw at least is occasionally amusing in his misanthropy. Harron is a rough draft of fucking Sheldon, is what he is.
Yeah, he is also coded
Sheldon?
from Big Bang Theory.
Oh, from Young Sheldon.
That's true. From Young Sheldon. Jesus Christ, Jake. No, because he's also, I feel like there's a lot of coding for autism with him a bit. So it's like, it's hard for me to like judge, like, what the fuck is your character?
I don't even know.
What development do they want you to even have?
If this was newer Trek, I'd think that maybe, but I feel like this is older Trek back when the only version, like, I feel like in the 90s, autism was just always Rain Man and nothing else.
Yeah. Huh. Well, that's the thing, but I think that, like,
this is 2000.
People that had sort of that, you know, high functioning autism personality, like, I do think that that's what Harron was kind of based on, is sort of that high functioning autism coding that we think of today. But at the time,
they didn't know
wasn't
what to call it. Like, I don't think like Asperger's was really a in the public consciousness at that time. Well, I think even that's not considered.
No, I don't think they call it that anymore.
They've rejiggered sort of the interpretation. But yeah, like,
yeah, but like even that though, I think that people would have just been like, oh no, he's just like a socially weird jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they would have thought that in 2000 that he had autism.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
Yeah, he maybe, like, nowadays they'd maybe write him a little more sympathetically because they'd be like, yeah, no, there's something at the root of this. Whereas this guy's just straight up an asshole.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of get some of his bitterness. Like, look, I had to do a year in space before they'd let me be in the Starfleet Cosmology Club. And thanks to Janeway's single-minded selflessness, I'm probably never getting home. And this sucks. And
it's only affecting me and no one else on the crew.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he's still
I'm a sulk for 70 years.
I wished... Because the thing is, I think that Lower Decks is a really strong episode of TNG, and part of that, what makes it good is, well, one, there's actually like an emotional core to that episode.
Yes, but
also the characters that we meet in that episode are actually good at their jobs and want to be there. They're just kind of, you know, low man on the totem pole. You know, the whole thing was the competition between Cito and the other guy for like who was going to be the new ops person.
Oh, that too, yeah.
Yeah, because that was going to be a big promotion. And in this one, it's like a race to the bottom.
Yeah. I mean, there were some interesting ideas that just never went anywhere. Because it was like, they even said, like, these are the kind of people that would have been reassigned.
Yeah, but you can't. There's nowhere to put them.
Yeah,
right. I mean, why didn't they stay on 37's planet if they hate this so much?
Would you want to spend the rest of your life with those assholes?
Yeah.
Yes, there's Amelia Earhart.
But yeah, I actually kind of like that idea.
Yeah,
that there are like, these people are going to be rotated out if this were any other circumstance.
Yeah, but you know, and like. Again, it would be a mix, you know, like maybe... I mean, again, that was literally Mortimer's plan, was like, I'm just here to do my time and get the fuck out of here. You know, the other two, like, maybe would have just done better in different environments or something. And
yeah, or you know, because I remember when Barclay was introduced as a character, there was this whole idea that like, oh, he's just been passed around from ship to ship.
Yep, but, you know, and like, what do you do with these folks when that's not an option?
Make them a waitress at Neelix's.
Yeah.
Like, you think they would have... Yeah, they should have. Like, clearly Harron, once she spent one day with him, should have been like, oh, he actually would very happily take just spending the rest of this trip in his room.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's what she should do with him. Or, you know, maybe there is... Honestly, what she should have done is switched Harron and Tall. Because I feel like if Heron was going to do well anywhere on the ship, it would be in astrometrics.
Oh, with Seven.
With Seven.
That's a good point.
They're very similar people.
And she couldn't be offended by him.
Right, exactly. She wouldn't be offended by him, and like, you know, she might actually be someone that would challenge him in a way that would scratch his itch to study shit. And then, you know, Tall is just so crappy at her job that we'll put her in a room where the only thing she has to do is occasionally press 2 buttons. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How hard can that be?
Oh God, the ship would explode, Jake.
Somehow. Yeah, so by the end, we have Telfer.
Billy.
Yeah. Billy has been psychologically scarred out of his hypochondria.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Hasn't changed at all, and Heron has become suicidal. Great job, Janeway!
I don't think he was suicidal. I think he was, well, if anyone's going to save us, it'll be me, and I'll die a martyr's death.
Yeah. Well, I kind of wish that they had that final scene where it's the resolution, because I think the implication that the writers were going for was that, oh, Heron isn't such a bad guy after all, because in the end, he chose to sacrifice himself to save the crew, which is a quality that a Starfleet officer would have. You know, that's like a Spock thing. So, he's not just a selfish ne'er-do-well jag-off. He actually does care for his crew, and he exhibits the qualities of a Starfleet officer after all this time. But in the end, we don't get that scene, and his sacrifice is useless because Janeway short-circuited it.
Yeah.
We went along with none of his plans, because all of his plans, Janeway immediately said, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah. And that was the other thing, is to me it just read more as like he finally realized how much people hate him, and he was just like, I'm just gonna space myself.
Oh, that is not how I read that scene.
No, but here's the other thing about this episode. I think it would have been a different episode. I think it would have been written differently, but I think it could have been better and made more sense if this was a Chakotay episode instead of Janeway. If it was Chakotay, and honestly, as the XO,
oh, that's a good point.
I think it should have been Chakotay dealing with this,
and it would give Beltran something to do for a fucking change.
Yeah, well, you know, at least
he was building tubs in the holosuite,
right? Well, not as in TNG, Riker really is shown to be the XO and kind of deals with personnel shit, like he does the staff reviews and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really show Chakotay doing that stuff in Voyager as much, but I still think it would have made more sense if he was the one to be like, no, I'll deal with these kids. I'll set them straight.
See, now if it were Tuvok, he would have them all just run a 10K until they were good again.
With the gravity churned up.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I don't remember if I liked that episode or not.
You did not. It is on your least favorite list.
Good. I couldn't remember. I remembered the episode. It was like, all I remember anymore was the Bolian and his ridiculous medallion.
Oh, yeah, he was great.
I loved him, but I couldn't remember what I thought of the rest of the episode.
Yeah, that was a learning curve. You didn't like it.
Thank you.
I can't remember if Chell ever shows up again in Voyager.
He does. I remember at the time finding out we will see him like once more in season 7.
Yay!
I know he's a character in the Star Trek Voyager Elite Force video game.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, because he ends up getting... So the plot of that video game is we're on Voyager, and there is the Elite Force is a team of security officers who are like the SWAT team, basically, and they're specifically dealing with Borg shit.
Okay.
And Chell is a member of the Elite Force team.
Oh, so he did finally finish that 10K.
Apparently, in the video game at least.
A bonkers choice, and I love it. Allegedly, that game's actually pretty decent.
It is. I mean, for a, early 2000s, I think it was like Quake 3 Arena engine or something.
Oh boy, so they were still kind of figuring out first-person shooters.
Yeah, but and actually, I played it a little bit recently. And I remember at the time when it came out, I was like, "Oh my god, this is so realistic! I can walk on the." There's a whole mode in the game that is just explore the ship, where you're not actually playing the
That sounds fun.
the missions or anything. You're just like walk around the ship. So I was like, and I went into the captain's ready room and I was like, oh, they even got the picture of Janeway with the dog.
No
Dog.
shit. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, speaking of Janeway, one thing I did appreciate about this episode is whenever Janeway pulls out her, hey, I'm a scientist too, bitch, I know all this better than you guys do. Because, they're talking science and all this stuff, and Janeway just happens to walk in and say, I happen to know all of the things you're talking about. And I just like when she does that kind of thing.
I did not love the little, like, goofy thing the writers came up with, though. The, like, the, what did you call it?
0G is fun?
Yeah, what do you call it?
A mnemonic?
Thank you, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
It makes about as much sense as, like, trying to remember the order of planets by, like, my mother.
Yeah, but that doesn't work anymore because of Pluto. They had to come up with a new one, probably.
Well, what is it? My very...
Oh, God, I don't remember.
I don't know that one.
It was when I was in elementary school. But yeah, either
bullshit.
way, like, honestly, I probably wouldn't have... this episode just got off on the wrong foot with me and basically never recovered. So, things that I probably would normally not have noticed were also annoying me.
They brought up a very interesting thing about Tal because, she is a Bajoran, and the question was, like, how the fuck did you make it this far in Starfleet when you're this much of a fuck-up? And basically she says, like, because they really wanted Bajorans in Starfleet, so they just kept, passing me even though I suck.
I thought that was interesting because, like, that really does sound like actual imposter syndrome, where, like, people who are from, sort of underrepresented groups believe that about themselves even when it's not true.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, that was one of the only, I thought, well sort of thought out parts of the episode. It's like, they wouldn't have actually done that, but she believes it because they were so high. And I'm sure there was a big push, sort of a, sorry we fucked up everything with the Cardassians, push to get Bajorans into Starfleet, but at the end of the day, they're not just... I'm sure they also had plenty of applicants and wouldn't have had to have kept her around, so...
I feel like that scene could have used a bit of Janeway being like, no, I read your profile or something, something where, like, Janeway dispels the idea, but no.
Apparently
not in this episode.
Yeah. Apparently not a religious Bajoran either. No earring on her.
Yeah.
That's good, because religious metaphors are irrelevant, as Seven says.
That was good. I did like that.
That was good.
Everything they did with her was fine. I know often we complain about them sort of just pulling focus to her constantly lately, but boy, this is the one that maybe she should have taken them and the episode wouldn't have sucked. I don't know.
Oh, God.
This episode was so bad.
She's already got those bored children to look after.
That's true.
Yeah. Plus, I was going to say, like, Seven would have airlocked all three of them within the first 10 minutes on the shuttle.
Yeah.
Oh, what did you guys think of our dark matter life form?
Oh, God, the creepy centipede, yeah.
It was cute.
I mean, Harren was an asshole, but I'm kind of with him on this one. It's like, all right, I know we have to occasionally deal with these, like, species that communicate in weird ways, but they stole Billy, put a bug in him. The bug's fucking with life support. I'm sorry, he made the right call.
Yeah.
Well,
fucking no.
But he did, disobey a direct order, so...
It was
You're just saying
order.
that because it was an ugly millipede. If it came out and was like a cute little octopus or something...
No, because it came out of Billy.
Yeah, it came out of Billy, and then it started fucking with the ship.
It might be trying to communicate, as, is Janeway's newest catchphrase for the whole show.
Yeah, no, I'm like, look, there is a time and a place, and this is not
college.
it. This is not it.
At least put it in a jar.
Maybe that, but, like...
Trap it under a glass and let it outside later.
I mean, it reminded me a little bit of Galaxy's Child, right? Where...
Which one's that? Sorry.
The space whales and Leah Brahms.
Mm-hmm.
The not actually Leah... Oh, the not actually Leah Brahms, right?
No, that's actual...
Oh, God damn it.
Leah
I always
Brahms.
get them backwards.
Not Leah Brahms is from Booby Trap.
You're right.
Yeah, no, but there's this whole bit where the life form, the space whale baby, latches onto the ship.
Yeah.
And they're like, how do we not kill it? Because it's destroying the ship. It's going to kill us all if we let it do this thing.
Harren would just shoot it.
Yeah, Harren would have been like, all right, phasers.
Yeah, like, and that's, I think that the difference for me here is, like, there wasn't a lot of time in this case.
Yeah.
How do you know?
It was fucking with systems. Things were exploding.
Yeah, but I do feel like the Starfleet way, and again, Janeway doesn't always do things by the book.
God, no.
But the Starfleet thing to do would have let it destroy the ship, because above all, the prime directive would say, we're not going to kill a friggin' species just because it's here.
Yeah, she literally
doing
says,
what it does naturally.
Well, there goes a first contact that we could have had. Thanks, Heron.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. We don't even really have proof that this is an intelligent species and not just something acting on instinct.
Telfer says he could hear its thoughts.
That's true.
That's true.
And
but only when it was on its way out, right?
I don't remember.
I don't know. But yeah,
the whole Telfer thing was very strange, because it seemed like just this magic thing that cured me of hypochondria. I felt like that scene needed to be something different and less magical.
Well, was it supposed to be like an exposure therapy type of deal?
That
where
was
it's
my assumption.
Yeah,
the worst fucking thing that could possibly happen to a hypochondriac happened, but I turned out okay, so maybe it's not so bad.
Like I said, it's not even exposure therapy. He's now just been psychologically scarred in a new way that overwrote his old psychological scarring.
Yeah. Oh, see, it seemed to me that it was actually the creature taking it away, and if it was that, then I hate it.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't.
Well,
think
that's the thing. It doesn't, like, the episode does kind of lead you there, and I think that I came up with the exposure therapy as sort of a coping mechanism to,
especially because Janeway brings that up with Tal when they're talking about how Janeway used to be afraid to swim in the ocean.
Yeah.
And then one day when for a class she had to go swim in the ocean, and just kind of like, well, I guess I'm doing this now, and I'm okay with it.
I actually, thinking on it, at first I was like, that seems weird. I was like, oh, she's from Indiana. Like, they don't have the ocean. I could get kind of not being into it.
Yeah, but the thing is, in 24th century Earth, the ocean is a 2-second transporter away.
That's true.
So there's no reason why anybody, and plus no one really has to work, so you could just be vacationing everywhere all the time.
That is
plus
true.
you've got all the descendants of George and Gracie.
I was going to say, didn't we say this a few weeks ago or something? Like, I don't know if it was on air or what, joking that, like, you can't even swim in the ocean anymore. It's all just so choked full of humpback whales. You could walk across the ocean on their backs. They sit there kind of like the penguins in that one Futurama.
Yes.
Or the people from that one TOS, but we have to bring up Futurama at least once an episode now.
We do. And not TOS somehow.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that aren't TOS, more Voyager, Jake.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So next up, we go from imposter syndrome to just regular imposters.
Yay!
In Live Fast and Prosper. In this episode, we find ourselves on the surface of some planet where we're having a negotiation between Janeway and Tuvok and some aliens. And then we have to squint a little and be like, that doesn't quite look like Janeway and Tuvok.
Those pips are a little big.
The pips are big. The uniform is ill-fitting. The badge is out of size.
The
and
red's just too light.
And it's just totally different actors.
Oh, that part.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
So what we come to find out is that these are two people. There's actually a third on the ship, but so they're a team of con artists, basically flying around, pretending to be Voyager, pretending to be Janeway, Tuvok, and Chakotay, and kind of using Voyager's reputation to get people to trust them, and then set up trade deals and stuff, which they never end, and they just steal. They basically just steal stuff from people and fly around. So they've been doing this. Apparently, they've been doing it all over the sector.
In the last 18 days, they've been busy as hell.
Yeah, they've been busy. So back on real Voyager, somebody pops up and says, "Hey, where's our shit? You stole our shit. We want it back, or we want the fucking dilithium you promised us." And Janeway's like, what? I think you have us mistaken for someone else. And they're like, nope, you did this. It was you. I got the tapes. I got the tapes right here. So then they show Janeway, and she's like, yeah, no, that's not me. you idiot. That is not me at all. So then they figure out that, okay, yeah, there's these con artists flying around using our good name, dragging it through the mud, making us look like assholes. So we got to put a stop to this. And then we find out also that the reason they even know about Voyager is that Tom and Neelix ran into them on some other away mission where they were pretending to be monks who were collecting charity for sick orphans. And they trick Tom and Neelix into letting them on the Delta Flyer and letting them steal a bunch of information and sold them a bad heating coil or something. So that basically all that does is set up the B plot, which is
unnecessary.
Tom and Neelix trying to prove to themselves that they can still that they still have guile and can con people out of money as they try to trick the Doctor with a shell game. Yeah. Anyway, back in the more important A plot, we do eventually catch up with our imposters as they are being threatened by one of their marks who has figured out the game. We try to beam them over, and we do. We get, but we only get one. We get the Janeway lady, Dala. And then we kind of have her in the brig, and Janeway's like, listen, I'm going to turn you over to the authorities, and they're going to put you in jail, and their jail's really bad. And Tuvok, tell him how bad jail is. And then Tuvok gets put in the most awkward position for Vulcan to be in. He has to vamp and pretend how bad prison is. Which he does. He does a good job. He threatens her with psoriasis.
Incurable psoriasis.
Incurable. Several forms of incurable psoriasis. So yeah, that doesn't sway Dala at all. So Janeway has another nut up her sleeve, as it were.
And not the nut that's under the cups that Neelix and Tom are playing with.
Where she basically has Neelix go in and pretend to be
Neelix.
Compassionate. Yeah, exactly.
Just go in and be yourself.
Yeah, just go in and be yourself.
Was he even part of the plan?
She didn't even tell Neelix that it was part of a bit. She's just like, yeah, go give her some food. And Janeway's like, yeah, she's going to attack him and escape because that's what'll happen. Which she does. She attacks Neelix, fortunately doesn't kill him or the security guard that was there that she also shot with a phaser. So lucky that maybe they pre-programmed that phaser to not have a kill setting or something.
It was a water gun.
Yes. So Dala does escape on the real Delta Flyer because anyone can steal a shuttle. Mm-hmm. Although this time they were actually letting her steal it. But hiding out on the Delta Flyer were Tom and the Doctor.
Well, Tom and the mobile emitter.
Yeah, Tom and the mobile emitter, which had the Doctor inside of it. So then they turn the tables on these group of imposters by having the Doctor impersonate Dala and find out where the con artist's secret base is, where they're hiding all the stuff they stole, and then they capture them. That's pretty much it. The Tuvok impersonator is adorable as he gets like really into Vulcan shit. Like he's just taking his part so seriously, but then he like actually falls for it. And when he sees the real Tuvok, he like has a little fanboy moment.
It's
he's like,
so cute.
Tuvok!
I loved it.
It was really cute. I really liked that piece.
He was the best part of this fucking episode.
Yeah, he was a highlight.
I liked this episode, so this isn't like...
Of course you did. I knew you'd like this one.
But he was just like, he refused to break character. Like, ever. Like, yeah. He clearly had wanted to be an actor on his homeworld, and it never took off. He's that guy who's like a big fish in his community theater scene.
Yeah.
Like, when he's not in character, he's in a big fucking... He's in one of those fucking bathrobes the EMH was wearing back in Virtuoso.
Comfy.
But yeah, when he saw real Tuvok and had his, like... It was like when the Thermians met fucking Alan Rickman. It was just... That was great. And he... and he tries to Tuvok at Tuvok, who's like, I have a flashlight.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yes, we're clearly, neither of us has the advantage. And then Tuvok's like, pocket sand.
I have the high ground, bitch. Chris is laughing so loud, the sound cut him out in Zoom.
That was...
Is that what happened?
I don't know what happened. Suddenly Chris was silent, but I could see him laughing.
Sorry. But yeah, that when and I gotta admit though, that was actually really like whoever came up with that in the script, that was clever.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm just gonna fucking blind you and shoot you.
Tuvok just vamping all over the place today.
They should have kept Mobar.
Ah!
They should have been like, you know what, those two, prison, but you
replace Heron. Heron goes to prison in your stead.
Actually, Heron would probably love prison. He's going to be left alone.
Oh my god.
He gets to think about whatever the fuck he wants to.
You just pull a suitor and just
locked in
go
the cage
nuts.
23 hours a day.
He'd have to be in solitary. Like, otherwise they occasionally make you interact with people, I think, so. But yeah, no, loved it. Loved fake Vok.
Yeah. One thing I really enjoy about this episode is, I've said before how when I was a kid I used to go to a lot of Trek conventions. And I would not be surprised if I found out that they just purchased the costumes for the imposters from like a vendor at a Star Trek convention, because those costumes are what every cosplayer like.
They're just like wrong enough.
Yeah.
Well, like cosplay today in the 2020s is tight. Like you can get like very screen accurate costume pieces.
Well, they probably sell them in StarTrek.com.
Oh yeah, and they're all officially licensed products. But in the 90s, there was officially licensed stuff. But when you went to a convention, most of the vendors were just selling like reproductions that some dude made in his garage, and they were not to scale. Nobody who wasn't spending a shitload of money had a properly tailored uniform, because you would just get whatever was sold there, or if you made it yourself, it was going to be as tailored as well as you could make it.
Yeah, and not quite the right material, because you're just buying from like Joanne Fabrics or something. Not
the right colors, not the right fit, not the right accessories. Just everything is slightly off, but you know what they're going for.
Yeah,
and I appreciated that aspect of the imposters, because it reminds me so much of what the convention scene looked like in those days.
Yeah. Nowadays, I feel like, there are people who can also just make stuff really high quality. They put a lot of time and effort into it, because there's, especially if you're someone that makes this stuff, that you're kind of promoting your business. You show up at a thing like, who made this? Like, oh, I did. Here's my card. And of course, with easier access to relatively inexpensive 3D printing, you can download and print a properly scaled comm badge.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And like, that's not to say that there weren't people that had very high quality, screen accurate stuff, but
they were probably further and fewer between than they are now, where, like you said, you can literally buy licensed screen accurate repros. So I just looked up Dala because I forgot.
Oh, I was going to bring up who Dala is, because I hadn't recognized her.
Yeah, no, neither did I.
I recognized her, but I don't know why.
It's because her shirt was too high cut.
Yes, that's why. That's why you didn't recognize her. If there'd been a lot more booby hanging out, you'd have recognized her.
Was she one of the Duras sisters or something?
Close.
Nope. She was that Lady Vorta from the ship when
the first, is she the first Vorta we see, right?
No, she's a later Lady Vorta.
But she's the one that
there's a crashed ship and they want it back, and
yeah. And she's got cleavage.
She kind of tries to like seduce Cisco weirdly.
Oh.
She's apparently mostly a theater actor.
Yeah, she definitely looked familiar, so I'm glad that I meant to mention that, and I'm glad that you guys did.
I thought she really had, like... It was interesting because she wasn't doing a Janeway impression per se, but I feel like she hit Mulgrew's cadence with a lot of stuff.
She must have listened to the logs.
Yep. So I liked that.
I hear there was a deleted scene in which there would have been a time when she was also impersonating Seven, and I'm very curious how that went.
That would have been just over-egging the pudding at that point.
It might be.
So I'm glad they didn't bother. It's good. It's a good setup, though, for them. It's like, oh, man, we can totally pretend to be these people from the other side of the galaxy, so it's hard to fact-check us.
Plus we've got the logs from the Delta Flyer. We've got a lot of information on them. They throw the Voyager up on screen and say, look, we've got all this stuff. We know what this is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I also liked when the dude was pretending to be Chakotay.
Oh, yeah.
His tattoo was so much larger than it should have been.
And, like, clearly just drawn on in marker.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, yes, obviously so is Beltran's, but they let it show this time. It even looked like they dripped a little, which I assume was on purpose. Like, to do kind of a sloppy job.
And I really enjoyed the scene where they're selling Federation memberships.
Yeah, that was cute.
You let my enemies join!
Whoops.
Yeah.
Of course, there is historical precedent for that. You know, Athens and some other Greek city-state began an alliance against Sparta that Sparta was eventually allowed to join. Admittedly, it's because
it's the No Spartas Club. They can have one.
Wasn't that what Admiral Jameson did? Sold weapons to the
both sides of a conflict. Yep. So really, she'd be an admiral.
Yeah.
But yes, that alliance against Sparta had turned into an alliance against Persia. So it's a little different, but still.
As long as they find a way to work racism in, they're good.
They just, crossed out the word Sparta.
Yeah.
And had somebody carve in the word Persians.
Yep.
There we go.
That one guy, though, I liked his makeup and his big coat. He was a fun design.
Which one?
Xerxes?
The one they were selling Federation membership to.
Ah, Varn. Yeah, he was good looking.
Yeah,
I kind of thought he was, I liked him.
There's a little something Cardassian about that guy.
Yep, that's right. I was like, huh, you're a big naughty lizard man. Tell me more.
I think you two might be scalies. I'm just throwing it out there.
Oh,
I don't know what that is, but I hate it.
It's like a furry, but for lizard people.
Stop.
See, it's not the fact that they're lizards that's attractive. It's the quality. It's how
they sun themselves on rocks.
Yes, that's
Son
the
of a
one.
bitch. Shit.
I know it's not the fact that they are lizards, but there does seem to be a connecting thread, we'll say.
Spiders have threads, not lizards. Okay, so
I think the one thing I could have kind of done without was the Neelix Tom little joke thing. It seemed out of place and not interesting to me.
See, it's funny, because, I remember even thinking, of all ones to scam, the ex-con and the, former sort of half-con man junk dealer, but I didn't need them to have an existential crisis because of it.
And the stupid thing is, the actual, counterintuitive part of this is, so they're worried that no one's going to buy their shell game as the way that they can prove that they're still badasses or some shit.
Yeah.
But Tom is the one who's, in the Delta Flyer bamboozling Dala. It's you've already just proven with that you're a badder ass than anybody.
Yeah, well, they were both involved in the bamboozling, so it's
That's true. I mean unless Neelix wasn't, which is a possibility.
That was a Willy wasn't scenario again.
But here's the thing. In the end, it was the Doctor who was the biggest bamboozler of all.
Also, apparently he can hide the mobile emitter, which we'll never see again.
Yeah.
Which we'll never see again?
Well,
him being able to hide it.
Yeah, it's because it's always on the outside of his clothes.
Although,
do we see in the future that he can't hide it?
No, I just don't think we see him do that again.
Although it does retroactively fix a complaint you had, Jake, from
Blink of an Eye?
Yeah, because weren't we talking about how you couldn't see it there?
No, you could.
You couldn't. So really, he could have just cloaked it then. Damn it, they made it worse.
Maybe it was hidden. Maybe it was on the bottom of his shoe or something.
No, they showed where it was.
Yeah, but that was when he turned back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he touched the outside of the uniform to turn back into Doctor
you're right.
form.
Yeah.
So it was just cloaked. Yeah, that is. Maybe it did need the mobile emitter there, and for every previous scene, he was just always shot from the side that you wouldn't see it or something.
No, because they show that.
I know, but that's what they should have been.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's what they should have been. Or they should have or they should have just had him change into her clothes, right? If he
with
had
the wig.
Yeah, that would have been great if he tapped the shoulder and then only his face changed, but his hair and clothes stayed the same.
That would be funny.
I do kind of want to see him in that wig now. I think you could pull it off.
Yeah.
It'd look a little, I don't know,
one of the monkeys.
Well, I was thinking it would look like he was a bard in court, in the 1600s or something.
Or Pavel Chekhov.
Someone give that man a lute. Oh, yeah, definitely like Pavel Chekhov. The hot young one, remember?
Oh, God. But yeah, the whole subplot with Tom and Neelix, aside from being silly, also just you're going to try to bamboozle a computer man?
Right.
Like, the fact that they ultimately were able to in the end was even dumber. It's
Because
like
he could just sense where it was, right?
Well, he's a walking scanner, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
That's true. He literally is. He's done this before.
Yeah. Like, it should have been, I was going to say anyone else, but I feel like they also couldn't have gotten it past Tuvok or Seven, so B'Elanna would have murdered Tom. There we go.
B'Elanna would murder Tom. Yes, I love that.
If he tried that. And they can't do it to Harry, because obviously Harry's going to fall for it.
Yeah, that proves nothing.
Yeah, so yeah, Chakotay's your best bet.
Yep, I think that's settled. They were also very silly when Dala and Mobar first got the fucking shit out of the Delta Flyer because they closed their eyes for this little prayer thing, and then with their eyes closed, they just scanned around and got all the stuff. Too silly? Where are you on the level of silliness for that, Chris?
No, it worked. Because, like, I enjoyed how they played to Neelix's ego a bit. And Tom wasn't gonna. It was Neelix who was like, fucking shut your eyes, dude. It's what we're supposed to do. And Tom's like, fucking fine. What is silly is having apparently your entire ship's goddamn database copied into your shuttle. But Starfleet's bad at everything.
I feel like I feel like some of it is also like you want to have your records somewhere in case you get separated.
Yeah, I mean, some stuff is necessary, but I feel like they might have, like, fucking everything. It's like, oh, dude, come on. Though I did love when Fakeway would slip into, like, being all wistful about Earth in a way that even Janeway doesn't get, but was, like, a very nice con man touch.
Yeah, it was also a really good touch that she just repeats something that Neelix had said earlier, oh, yes, this is the Voyager. We've taken on the Borg and Species 8472 and whatever the other ones they mentioned were.
The Hirogen, I want to say.
Possibly, yeah. And she just literally same quote. It's like, good. She got it.
Name-dropping 8472 actually doesn't make sense, because who the fuck are they?
It's just how it's said in the translator. The translator translated it for them.
But what I mean, though, is, like, who else aside from the Borg and the crew of the Voyager have actually interacted with that species? As far as we know, nobody.
Well, also, I mean, it's Neelix that says it, so he probably thinks it's pretty important.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they're such a badass adversary. And then when Dala later says it, she's just parroting what Neelix said. So she's like, "Oh, I'm going to since he mentioned it, I'm assuming these 8472 people are badasses."
Meanwhile, everyone is just like, "Who the fuck?" Okay, the other two are important, so I guess they are too by context.
Yeah,
it's like the Emperor's New Clothes at the Gamma Delta Quadrant. It's just like you don't want to admit you don't know who they are because apparently everyone else knows.
Notice he didn't mention the Kazon because everyone knows that they're bitches.
Even 30 years away from their space, people have heard of how lame they are.
They're like, the Borg wouldn't assimilate them.
The fucking stupid hair people? Yeah, all right.
The Borg always keep one person around from the places they assimilate for two reasons. One, tell them about the Borg. Two, tell them how lame the Kazon are.
Yes.
We are the Borg. We will come for everyone, except the Kazon.
This was also directed by LeVar Burton.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Well, he did good work. I thought it was a good episode.
It was.
Yeah, a good one. And I also like the twist at the end. Mwah, good twist. Good work with twists.
Yep. Well, that was a great part about that whole scene, is I'm sitting there with Neelix and Dala in the jail cell.
Oh, the jail cell scene.
And I'm just like, all right, she's working an angle, but I wonder if Neelix is. Like, I was already kind of wondering if they were setting up for something.
Like, why does he have that phaser? Who gave Neelix a phaser?
Well, so that was the thing. I noticed, like, oh, they gave him a phaser. I was like, well, then again, they knew he was going to see a prisoner, so maybe it's just protocol. But yeah, then once she hits him, I'm just like, oh, this was probably a setup, maybe.
Well, I figured it had to be when they didn't put the force field back up when he walked in.
That's true. They do normally do that.
So sloppy.
Yep. So yeah, clearly they'd set Neelix's phaser to tickle and everyone had to pretend it was knocking them out.
Yeah.
Set phaser to tickle.
And then she gets away, and I'll admit, though, my dumb ass, I don't know what it is, but when she suddenly whips out the comm badge and is on their side, I'm like, wait, what the fuck? This doesn't make any sense. Hold on, did they forget their own script? It didn't occur to me it might have been the Doctor. Even though I knew he was there, it was just like...
Because it's smart, it's real smart.
Yeah, that whole end bit was just really well done. Yeah, no, this was good fun, this episode.
Well, speaking of this being directed by LeVar Burton, LeVar Burton's in some new Trek. And he's also... We're going to spoil a lot of new Trek for this episode.
Yeah,
y'all either stop it, or just be prepared because there's no way to not spoil new Trek in this episode. Because,
we're gonna go beyond stuff you've heard from press releases and trailers. Yeah,
wink, wink. LeVar Burton, or rather, Geordi LaForge, has a bunch of kids in the new Trek, and we're going to talk about.
That was already public knowledge, but yes, after that.
Was it? When?
Oh, ages ago. They announced ages back that his daughters were playing Geordi's daughters.
I mean, also, we know about his kids from All Good Things.
No, those ones never happened.
No, Maybe. They're the same kids. Their
where's the boy one?
Well, we've only seen two of them. So
is there another one? We think. Okay,
there was a third. I didn't know that. Anyway, yes. Here on out, assume it hasn't been in trailers or press releases already. And either prepare to be spoiled or see you next week, where we will be talking about other episodes of Voyager.
All right, so you think trailers and press releases aren't spoiling?
I mean, I think they make bad choices of things to put in trailers and press releases. But,
true.
But yeah, technically speaking, if it's in one of those things,
it's public knowledge.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who specifically don't watch trailers because there's lots of spoilers in trailers.
That's fair. They do not pick the right things to put in trailers.
Anyway, getting
that's
back.
Neither here nor there.
So y'all remember that last week we started talking about parents in Star Trek and how shitty so many of them are. Real bad, guys. So last week we did everything from the classic Treks, and this week we're going to finish it off with all of the newer Treks. I think it's going to be a slightly shorter list, thank God.
Much. So right off the bat, Caitlin's least favorite /favorite scene in Trek.
Oh, that scene.
George Kirk and the Kelvin.
Oh, Captain Kirk's birth.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I cried so much.
Yeah. Not a movie we were expecting to open with an emotional gut punch, kind of like Up, which came out in the same year.
Shit.
So, yeah, I mean, I guess George Kirk is all right, but he dies moments after the birth of his son.
Yeah.
But he does die...
So his son will live.
Saving his son, I guess. So that's good.
So really, that's the best case of all, because now you don't have to raise the thing, and you're still considered a great parent.
Well, Spock did confirm that Prime Universe George Kirk survived and was very proud of Jim.
Yeah. Then we have, to contrast that, we have Kirk's stepdad,
Greg Gunberg.
Right, who we don't do we actually see ever on screen, or is it just his voice?
No, it's just his voice
on the radio. Yeah, evidently not a fan of Jim.
Being fair to him,
who steals his car.
I was saying we don't know, because admittedly, all we hear him is him yelling at a 10-year-old who's stolen an automobile. So
yeah,
that's
maybe
a great
he's
dad.
Normally a nice guy.
Yeah, maybe Jim is just a shit son.
He could be. He could be. This version of Kirk is very annoying.
I do hate him a lot.
But Kirk's surrogate dad, Captain Pike, in that movie.
Good
God damn it.
Good point.
Quite good.
Yep. God, if we listed all the surrogate dads, would be...
That's not a surrogate dad.
Well,
that's a mentor.
Father figure.
Yeah,
yes.
That's not a thing.
Yeah. We don't get to see his mother very much, so who knows?
Yeah.
We've already talked about these characters, but Kelvin, Amanda... Winona Ryder.
Sarek, yeah. This version of Sarek is forced to reconcile with Spock much faster under much worse circumstances.
Yeah. I can't remember. Does Amanda die?
Bites it on Vulcan.
Oh, that's right, because she's on Vulcan.
They were trying to beam her out, and then they didn't work.
Yeah, no, Chekhov got this, don't got this.
Yeah,
I believe is his line.
Right.
Yeah, he beams out everyone but her.
Yeah.
She's the one sole Vulcan casualty.
Like, wow.
Oh, no, there's also the guy that was squished by the big statue.
I don't remember a fucking thing about this movie.
Yep.
They were like, oh, man, we got Winona Ryder for Star Trek for 5 minutes. Not even.
Well, they couldn't afford 10 minutes or they wouldn't have killed her.
Well, no, this wasn't. This was kind of before Stranger Things really put her back on the map.
She was kind of... This was still like post shoplifting scandal.
I was gonna say
Winona
klepto
Ryder.
Winona Ryder.
That's the thing. This was right before Thor, Chris Hemsworth, and before career revival.
Winona Ryder.
Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Speaking of some strange things, we also have some strange worlds because we see more Sarek and Amanda. Well, really more in Discovery, I think we see them. But I think they're also in Discovery and Strange New Worlds are the same show for a little bit.
Have they been in Strange New Worlds?
Actually, you may be right. Maybe not.
I don't think we've seen them.
I think they're just in Discovery so far.
I'm trying to segue it to Discovery.
But it's the same continuity, so it counts.
Yeah, so I think we see lots more Sarek in Discovery, and we see him as a parent now to Michael, which...
He's so bad at this.
Better than parenting Spock or worse than parenting Spock?
I mean, they at least still talk to each other.
Well, I think that's because she went to the Vulcan Academy.
Yeah, she was the son he wanted in Spock.
Well, remember though, the whole thing with her and him is they were like, "Look, Sarek, we're only letting one of your kids do Vulcan Starfleet or whatever," and he was like, "Well, it probably should be Spock." So, hey, Michael, go join Starfleet. And she's like, I don't fucking want to join Starfleet. He's like, come on. And then
I don't remember this scene. Are you making this up?
No, hand to God.
No,
okay.
that was the plot.
And so then, of course, later it was even worse when Spock is like, I want to be in Starfleet. And he's like,
God,
what?
Fucking shit.
So yeah, things just don't work out for him.
And he fails at supporting any of his children, especially the cult leader.
Seriously.
But what about...
Thank
what
goodness
about
for Amanda.
Yeah, right. What about Michael's real mom, the Red Angel?
The time traveler Vashtanarada or whatever it is she ends up becoming. What's that goddamn group called?
Oh, the Zat Vash?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Is that right?
Zat Vash?
Zat Vash?
Either way, Elnor's fucking cult.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
She ends up as one of them.
Oh yeah, I forgot that about Elnor.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't. I feel like we don't see enough of her to really, or at least her as a parent.
I mean, yes. Well, I mean, the fact that it sounds like I can't remember the circumstances of why she is not parenting Michael Burnham and why Michael Burnham went with Sarek in the first place.
Because the Klingons attacked to try to get the time travel suit her parents had invented.
Oh, right.
And they killed the father, so she took the suit to the future to keep it away from the Klingons, but then couldn't get back.
Right.
And that was why she kept kind of popping up at random. It was like she kept getting rubber banded back to the 32nd century. But the decimated one that, So she gave up a lot of her life to save the future. So that was good of her.
That makes her a good parent.
Yeah, when she is this Zat Vash thing, and I remember there was the whole episode where it was Michael, you have to prove something or other to the Vulcan Council, something or other.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that, yeah.
Which, is it Zat Vash? Because that's Romulan.
Yeah.
Because they're Nivek.
Yeah, the cultures have merged.
Because they reunified. Okay. Yeah. God, all this show is way too fucking complicated.
There's a lot of shit.
And she's, you have to prove it, and we've chosen as the person representing the Vulcan nuns, your mommy, and mommy's just kind of not at all mothery.
Well, that's the thing, is she wasn't they really didn't know each other, Michael had been a kid, and then she was gone, and now they're both adults and don't have a relationship, so they're trying to build one, I guess.
They weren't, though. The mom didn't care, I don't think.
Well, who knows? But
because she had adopted Vulcan culture.
Yeah.
So now she's worse than Sarek, son of a bitch.
But that thing, it's just really hard to judge. She really wasn't there to raise her daughter. Unlike, say, Worf, who wasn't there to raise his son by choice, she wasn't there to raise her daughter because of the greater good.
I don't know. When we finally get to these episodes in our podcast coverage, I'm going to be so fucking lost.
Yeah, that thing is, I haven't rewatched any of Discovery yet, so it's all still a little hazy.
Yeah, I'm hoping on second watch I'll understand it better. But yeah, there's a lot of confusing shit.
I don't pay attention to the plot. I just pay attention to Saru.
Yeah, you just watch the sparkly stuff and the constant firewall.
Oh god, those stupid tubes! I love and hate them in equal measure.
The farting firewalls.
They feel like an effect from Mystery Science Theater.
What else do we have from Discovery?
We talking about parents?
Yes,
parents.
that is the theme of the week.
So I would say the chosen family of Adira with Stamets
Culber
and
Stamets. Yeah, they're a fun little unit.
Yeah, I'll probably say this again when we do get to Discovery in our watch, but who decided Adira needed parents? Because they seemed to already be pretty independent before Discovery was there. Like, they were already in whatever their Starfleet thing was.
Yeah, but weren't they only like 16 though? They're young.
Yeah, but they also have the combined experiences of hundreds of years of Trill going on.
Yeah, but they're probably still processing all that.
Yeah, fair.
I think it was
It was the older queers taking care of the young queers. Or the elder queers, I should say. That's what I think of it as.
I think it's not. No one sort of forced them to attach themselves to Stamets or vice versa. It just kind of.
Okay, it was kind of a natural thing, because there was a moment, and maybe it's because I find Stamets to be very obnoxious.
Oh, I love Stamets. He's like my favorite character.
Very obnoxious.
I hate him I don't like him at first, like in the first season.
He grows on you.
Yeah, I love him. Like fungus, he grows on you.
And maybe I felt that it was him imposing, and I didn't care for it. Maybe on rewatch it will feel better.
That thing, I don't remember if he did. I don't think he did, but who knows? It's also possible it's something that, like, Culber was like, we should befriend them for reasons, because I'm walking empathy.
He is. Yeah, Culber is the sweetest person.
Culber is the goddess of empathy.
If it were Culber saying, like, I'd like to take this little young Trill thing under our wings because they're struggling. That's one thing. And if it were like more like Stamets saying like, you need a father, Vic, you need a parent role, then that would then I say fuck it.
Yeah, no, it definitely doesn't feel like something Stamets would do without someone compelling him. So we don't ever see her, but we get a lot of, or at least a couple of accounts of Tilly's mother, who sounds like the worst.
Yeah, she sounds awful.
Like, you know how your parents are never supposed to tell you who the favorite is? Tilly's mother has definitely told her sister is the favorite. Like, we all know our parents have a favorite, but they're not supposed to say it.
I'm the favorite, and I know it, and it's weird. Although it might be changing now, because I live much further away, and my brother visits my parents all the time.
One thing that was hysterical, even though, as far as I can tell, he is also a monster, but Elon Musk's father literally said in an interview that Elon wasn't his favorite, and that made me so happy.
That's hilarious.
Nice.
That's pretty good. Speaking of people being the favorites, so we got also Vulcan L'Rell have some kind of whelpling that's going to grow up and be something or other in the Klingon Empire or some shit.
But he winds up as a monk in the Time Crystal Palace. Mm-hmm. And because of Time Crystal shenanigans, he's already an adult. So they don't really get to raise him. They give him to the Time Monks, and he becomes an adult.
It's the best way to go in Klingon culture, I think.
Yeah.
Best parents yet. Time Monks.
Because, I think he's actually the one that gives Pike his crystal.
Mm-hmm. Because he's...
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because he's like... Because Volk was albino, and I think... Is Tenavik an albino, too?
He might
or
be,
a weird,
actually.
kind of like a bluish Klingon. I remember him being different.
Yeah, he might have been, actually. But yeah, also you have,
L'Rell was blue, too.
Yeah, there's blue and purple Klingons in Discovery as well, so their skin tones run a wider gamut.
I want a polka dot one.
Ooh.
Yes. What about the Kelpian child?
Kelpian child.
The one from the burn, the one that caused the burn.
Oh, because his mommy saved him. Yeah, Su'Kal's mom.
Yeah, had to set up that whole hollow world for him because she knew she was dying.
Yeah, I would say she was a good mom in that regard. I mean, she didn't know that eventually the Hollow program would start breaking the fuck down.
And that he was going to somehow psychically link with all the dilithium in space and explode it. Which is weird.
I mean, who could have possibly foreseen that?
No one with any sense.
Discovery writers.
Oh, God. I mean, I like the show, and I still know that was insane.
Perfect.
Like, what the fuck is this? This is idiotic.
Okay, I've got to... Oh, go ahead.
Doesn't Admiral Vance have children, or is it just people that call him Daddy?
I love it, Jake. That's great. That's perfect.
But yes, he mentions having daughters. I think we even see them briefly
I think we do.
At the end of one of the seasons or something. He doesn't get to see them much because, dilithium is rare and people are puttering around at, like, warp 4.
Not a Discovery episode, but in the short treks that is Discovery adjacent, but not really, but I don't even fucking know. We have, I think it's pronounced Ephaeum, but I'm not sure, because it's a tardigrade, and she's great. She is the best mom to her tardigrade babies.
That's where Fame and Dot or something was the short?
Yeah, Dot is the robot thing.
Robot, yeah. Yeah, I forgot she had kids.
Yeah, there are all these little baby tardigrades that she saves from the Enterprise exploding.
Yes, good catch.
And I think there was also in one of the other short treks, I think it was Children of Mars, we got to see one of the little misfit girls' parent being nice to them, but I think that's just a very quick moment.
Yeah, and I think he's exploded on Mars.
Oh no!
Like, I'm pretty sure he's on Mars during the uprising.
Don't go to Mars.
I have not seen Lower Decks, but I know there's some parental dynamics there.
Oh, for sure. Big parental moments, because, it's you know from the get-go in that show that Carol Freeman is Mariner's mom.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of the ship doesn't know at first that it's all fucking nepotism.
Fucking nepo babies.
But also, like, there's kind of also no good raising Mariner, because everything she does is a statement for mommy.
Yeah, well, because like she's portrayed as being this misfit outcast type who just gets fired from every position, and like I get the sense that the idea is this is her last chance, and just to help her not fuck it up, they're putting her on the ship where she'll hopefully behave better,
but will actually behave worse.
Yes,
until she makes the bestest friends.
Yeah,
and I don't know if we see a lot of good parent moments in Lower Decks other than that. If we do, I didn't write them down.
Okay, yeah. Lower Decks is completely on you two for this one, because...
Yeah, I can't think of much else from that show.
But then we get to Picard.
Oh, yes, let's do that.
Sorry, what were you going to say?
Prodigy.
Oh, Prodigy. Yeah, let's go Prodigy first, because that'll be quicker.
Because we don't really see, all the orphans, or, they're either orphans or genetic experiments. Oh, they really all are, aren't they?
Or they're Quinn.
Huh?
Or they're what's Gwen. Her name? Or I said, or they're Quinn.
Gwen.
Well, even Gwen is like...
Thank you.
Gwen even is a clone of her father, technically, not even...
She's the progeny.
A natural child, so...
Yeah, but she is definitely being raised by the diviner as her father. Like, that is the role that they have for each other, and it is fucked up.
Yeah, no, he's the worst.
Wicked fucked up.
John Noble, typecast as bad dad.
Yeah.
Is it... I guess Dahl's father technically would be...
Oh, no.
Soong.
I guess he is. Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Family. I have the Soongs. They're just...
He's just another... He's the first Soong who doesn't look like Brent Spiner, so that's a credit.
There we go. Oh, my God. Jesus, seriously, the Soongs are the worst villains in the Star Trek universe. They have caused so much fucking bullshit. But I would posit, if we're talking about, since you brought up Pike earlier, hollow Janeway as a mother figure to the crew.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
she definitely...
Oh, that Pike. I'm thinking, when did we bring up Pike? But the other Pike.
Kelvin Pike, yeah. Sorry, Kelvin Pike.
Yeah. I'm not counting mentors. Mentors aren't parents.
Fair enough, but she's a damn fine mentor.
Honorable mention.
Yes.
I mean, for that matter, you also have Dahl's Ferengi.
Oh, yeah, she was terrible.
Oh, that's a good point.
Parental figures.
How did this white cat get here? He's just here now.
He's making noises in the microphone.
Oh, shit. Okay, we'll remove the white cat. Oh, he's so cute, though. Off you go, buddy.
But yeah, no, he's really run the gamut from terrible mentor to much, much better mentor.
Yeah.
But yes, Pickard.
Yeah, there's way too much in Picard. Let's start off by saying Raffi is a terrible mom.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Like, God. Everything she does is just like, oh, Raffi, just please stop. Just give it up. Just let your kid go do his own thing and be done with it. It's not happening.
There is no repairing any of your interpersonal relationships. Make some new ones. The ones that you've already ruined are ruined. Just
Just have another kid and try again.
Don't do that. You'll fuck that one up too.
Okay, pet rock.
You never know. It might secretly be sentient.
Damn
It's Star Trek.
Sims family. No, they'll also get sentient.
We have, I mean, I don't know how we even classify the Soji and the other ones.
More songs.
The many sung bots.
Songs all the way down.
Best parent in all the seasons of Picard are Rios to his holograms.
That is not a father relationship.
I know. I just wanted to bring up the
Rios
only
does in season 2. He's got that.
I thought you were going to mention his new stepson.
Dumbest man in space.
Yeah.
Dumbest man in space. Oh.
Okay, so speaking of the stepson Ricardo, would we say that his mom Teresa, good mom?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I hate her kid, but she's good at what she does. Sets a fine example, does good work, does her best by him. Yeah, nothing against her.
I think he's floating around the hospital too much for a child, but
Yeah, it's probably a weird environment.
A little bit.
But you also
the
wonder maybe
hospital
it's
that regularly gets raided by
ICE.
immigration.
ICE.
Yeah.
Did we have anyone else in season 1?
Season
Yes,
1?
Troy and Riker.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, Troy and Riker and Seska.
Kestra.
Kestra.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. They seem to be raising their kid in a fucking cabin in an isolated world. I don't know what to think of that.
I mean, Kestra seems cool.
Feeding her nothing but pizza.
Bad pizza.
That's the life.
Better than omelets in
Yeah, I
that
was going to
household.
say.
True.
I was just thinking that.
I don't know, because
Yeah,
I
I
think
guess.
Kestra seems cool, and I think just like the loss that they seem to feel at Thaddeus's loss is palpable and
Yeah.
says a lot about their characters, and that was a very defining moment for them. They rewrite it a bit in season 3, but what are you gonna do?
Well, well, I mean, season 3 is pretending season 2 didn't even happen, it seems. So.
For the best.
Yeah, that's true.
Ditto.
They should have so pretended it didn't happen that Rios is just back with no
Yay!
explanation.
That would
Yeah.
be great.
It's like, didn't you die in the past? What are you
Agnes
talking
is
about?
here.
Yeah, none of that happened. Ugh. And of course, the French-English elephant in the room.
Oh god.
Which one?
Papa and Mama Picard.
Oh, those ones, yes.
Gaius
Gaius Baltar Picard.
Yeah. Because I think throughout TNG, there were like little glimpses that Daddy wasn't a good daddy.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Sorry, just to clarify, I thought we were talking about Bev and Jean-Luc, but yes, I forgot that we saw Gaius Baltar Picard and Mama in season 2.
Ah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought you literally said. So
No, I said the French-English elephant in the room, meaning Jean-Luc.
Oh, yes. No, well, we'll get to... I mean, this
Yes,
still
we'll get to
involves
them.
him.
Yeah, I forgot about...
Yeah.
Season 2.
that's why I asked
entirely.
which one, because it's the French-English elephant in the room.
I thought you were talking about Jack, because I guess he technically also would be a French-English elephant.
That's what I thought too, especially since his accent comes from seemingly nowhere.
He decided he had an accent one
He was raised
day.
in England or something.
But yes, the Picards.
Yeah, so we have
Maurice.
Maurice, who we have seen in TNG in Picard's death vision with Q, where he's just yelling at Picard.
I forgot about that.
Oh wow, yeah, I forgot about that too.
But we see more of him here, and he's a lot better looking. He's a much sharper
He's an
man.
attractive man.
But he's evidently
Looks a little like a Bashir, I could mention.
some kind of massive asshole who drives his wife to suicide. But maybe there's a different reason for that. But
it's so unclear because so much of it is via the memories of a child.
yeah,
Right.
That so wait, was he awful or just
Or
doing the
were
best-
there just instances? Or is
Yeah.
Picard just blaming him because they never got help for his mother? And
well, I feel like, and I'm probably misremembering this, but I feel like Picard blamed his father for many years for his mother's death,
yeah, or
and then it
something.
turned out that it wasn't quite that simple.
Yeah, like it just seemed like she had mental health issues, and like again, did he prevent her from getting help, or was the help just not helping?
I'm going to say that the killers of Yvette Picard are the fucking writers, because she was never dead before this, and they just decided that they all characters need a dead parent in their past to provide them with some kind of character development and shit.
Yeah.
And I am so goddamn done with it.
It's so lazy.
It's, I was gonna say, pretty sloppy.
Okay, you know who we didn't talk about last week, now that I think of it?
Uh-oh. Kalar.
Picard's Nexus babies.
We don't... True.
Anyway.
But fuck them.
Fuck them.
But yeah, it's so... And I haven't rewatched any of that, obviously.
Why would you? We're not going to until we have to.
Yeah, I am dreading rewatching season 2 of Picard.
Oh, it's so sloppy.
But I think the writing is just so unclear that it's impossible to tell what was and wasn't accurate. And if that was their point, then well done, but...
Ugh. We wanted to confuse the audience, you see.
Yes. It's really hard to say whether or not his dad was a good dad. You know, his mother was obviously deeply unwell. Mm-hmm. So you can't say anything either way, good or bad, I think. I'm
going to say all of it is an implanted memory in Jean-Luc, and none of this happened, because that's the only way that I can make sense of the entire season 2 of Picard.
Yeah.
Is he watched like a movie or something and mistook it for his past.
Yeah.
Because he's a senile old man.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Jean-Luc, I love you, but Jesus Christ, this fucking season. There is another parent clump in season 2 of Picard, and it's another absolutely terrible one.
Oh, it's another goddamn song!
It's another goddamn song! It's when in doubt, it's another fucking song. And this one has been just making babies out of stuff.
Terrible father.
And he makes Corey as one of, like, the last one in a string of babies he's attempted to make. And Corey is just screwed up as fuck.
Yeah.
She's never left the house before. She only knows him, and it's...
Well, she hasn't left the house because the sun will cause her to burst into flames like a vampire.
Yeah.
Vampire androids.
She was like super allergic to the sun or something.
Yes.
Yeah, there was some nonsense. I mean, honestly, that whole plot feels like it was just there because, like, okay, we have to pay these actors. We need Spiner and we need Briones in the show. And
it's like, it's seriously, it was like they signed her up for 2 seasons without knowing what they were going to do with her in season 2.
Yeah. So we need to jam this stupid plot in there.
Ugh.
Yep.
God. Fucking songs. Ugh. So yeah, I guess season 3, more songs.
Songs all the way down.
Too many songs.
Yeah, well, so now we have a new Soong who is evidently the amalgamation of Data, lore,
lol.
B4.
I don't think lol, because they haven't said anything.
Okay, all right. Do you want to hear my theory briefly?
Always.
You know, so right now as this airs, or as we re-record, I should say, episode 7 of Picard has just aired.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they've established now that B4 and the Eric Soong or some Soong,
one of them,
one of the Soongs,
season 1 Soong,
season 1 Soong is in there, but they're kind of just, they're not active consciousnesses, they're just like memories.
Yeah.
But Data and Data Lore are the 2 active personalities that are conscious, and they're both fighting for dominance, and it seems unreconcilable. Here's my tinfoil hat. Here's my Darth Maul prediction.
Yes, it's Darth Maul. I love it.
There's total balance between Data and Lore, and neither one can assert balance until a third, as yet undetected, personality emerges and tips the scales.
It's Joe Piscopo's comedian.
It's the comedian. No, and it's Lol, and it's Lol has emerged.
Oh my god! I hope you're calling it now.
And now we have. We have Lol and Data on the side of good, and Lore is no match for the power of love.
I mean, that's entirely because again, even though she hasn't shown herself, they did mention in fucking hologram Soong's little letter. He did mention Lol by name.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
but I think she's just kind of there by default because Data like saved her memories into his. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yes, that could be what happens, Jake.
I mean,
You're
considering it's a show
right.
of member berries.
Wank, wank, wank!
Yeah, exactly.
The wankiest Picard yet. Did you see the Defiant?
Yeah, that made me happy.
Of course it did.
No, honestly, I was more excited to see it in Prodigy, though, so...
Oh, yeah, we did see it in Prodigy. And I remember thinking the same thing at the time. All right, we can get to your big elephant in the room finally, Chris. Sorry to make you wait.
No, that's okay.
Bev. What the fuck, Bev?
Bev entered her rebellious phase a little late, and I'm here for it.
So do we think... Okay, here's my first thought on this. We established in Deep Space 9 times that at least the pappy, if not both consenting people fucking, are on some kind of a birth control. And that the reason Cassidy got knocked up was because Benjamin forgot his one day.
Yeah, he forgot his injection.
So what do we think is happening with Bev and Picard? Do we think Bev just has been off it for so long that she assumed she'd hit menopause? Or because it's the future, is menopause like way later now because people are aging longer or people are living longer and thus the aging gets pushed back, or what? Was Jack raised in a fake uterus for fun?
Here's the thing. They're clearly setting some weird bullshit up.
Are they?
Yeah.
Tell me more. Tell me what you... Lay me your Darth Maul projections now.
I don't know what it's going to be. I'm sure it's going to be dumber than Kelpian exploded dilithium with his mind.
Sarah Sisko is the mom.
I'm
calling it now.
No, you know what it is? No, it's not going to be... Oh my god, don't be this.
I mean, it could be...
Jack is the goddamned fucking Pa-Wraith version of Sisko.
I was just going to say the Pa-Wraith because...
Yeah, I've been saying that since episode 1.
He's got the red eyes.
Yeah, ever since they showed the red eyes, I'm like, oh, he's going to be a Pa-Wraith, ain't he?
The Costamogen, he's back. Probably, we'll see.
Because as of, like you said, Jake, we just saw episode 7, and fucking...
By the time this airs, it'll have been revealed, and we'll see if we're right or wrong, and you'll have cut all of this.
No, I'm keeping it in.
Yay!
Either way, just so you can see how...
right or wrong.
Yeah, because it'll be funny either way. But Frau Farbisten is like, let us show you who you really are. And it's just like, oh my god. So, clearly there's something weird about his birth. They weren't worrying about it because they shouldn't have had to.
No,
so,
here's what I'm going to say.
Do it. He's Darth Maul. He's got the red eyes.
Okay.
I think he had yellow eyes.
I still think the Costamogen is possible, but
I hope not.
I'm going to say, because they're going to have to tie it into why they want Picard's body, because that's the other thing we know is that they stole Picard's body. So obviously they wanted both of them, but they don't want Jean-Luc Picard, Robo Picard.
Yeah, they
need real Picard, and I'm going to say it's because there is some genetic trait that is in the Picard bloodline that perhaps Picard's mother also had, they'll use to like explain her mental illness or something. Because don't
acknowledge season 2. What the fuck?
No, but they're gonna do this. Because they're gonna be like, okay, we've now hinted that Picard didn't actually have Irumodic syndrome. That
they said it's actually
and some other thing. So what that thing is also some kind of magic space shit that Mama Picard had.
She was also Sarah Sisko then.
Yep. And
that bitch.
Yes. And that this is why the Borg want Picard. This is why everybody wants Picard. This is why the Vadic wants Picard.
Jake, he's the last known descendant of the Iconians.
Yay!
Yeah. It could be. Maybe something happened when he went through the Iconian Gateway and he's got Iconian powers now. And now Jack has those powers.
Yikes.
As well.
Worf went through the Iconian Gateway.
Yeah, but nobody wants that.
I was right. Darth Maul does have red eyes, so he is a Darth Maul.
Oh, I thought he had yellow. Anyway, we don't get to see much. Let's be honest, Picard would have been a terrible father. Bev made the right call.
I mean, do you think, because again, this will be a big future discussion one day, keeping him from knowing, though...
Yeah, that's a little shitty.
Keeping who from knowing? Picard. Or Picard? Oh, yeah. Crusher.
Picard or Picard?
Oh, God. Well, no,
Sung! One of the songs!
He goes by Crusher. Oh, yeah, keeping Picard from knowing was a shitty thing to do, but better for Jack.
Yeah.
But she told Jack.
Well, better for Jack that Picard wasn't in his life.
Oh.
Yeah, like Jack got to decide, will I go look for him and make him part of my life? And he went and decided, never mind.
So in that case, better or worse than Carol Marcus and David. Because she told Jim, and just told Jim, just don't bother,
Stay away,
please.
yeah.
Don't stay out of our lives. But you do have a son.
Yeah. I think better to give him the option. Because again, I think if Kirk had really cared, he would have been like, oh, come on. But Kirk probably also knew he'd have been a terrible father. So Picard, the thing is, would have tried to be a father, and he would have sucked. And Jack would have gotten himself killed somehow trying to impress him.
All right. One more parrot we see in the latest season of Picard is Geordi, who seems to be batting 1 for 2.
I didn't need that whole, like, batting 1 for 2 plot. Like, why? What's the point? They just want all the parents to have some kind of issue.
Yeah.
Like, it just seemed to exist just so there could be a bit of unnecessary extra drama.
Yeah, I don't think there's a single normal parental relationship.
No.
In most of Star Trek, so.
No, I think the best, the healthiest one we've seen in Picard Season 3 is Bev and Jack. And she's turned her kid into a criminal doctor, which is fun. What a strange multi-class he has chosen.
Yeah, but LaForge to Alondra seems like a fine dad. He seems fine. And I wonder if it's because this is the one who's following more in my footsteps, and is the easier one to parent, therefore she's the clear favorite.
I think you've nailed it. It's really even less the she's an engineer thing and more the
She behaves.
She is less effort.
She obeys.
Yeah.
She's the obedient daughter, so she's fine.
Yeah. But yeah, no, he seems fine. I swear to
clearly
God, if
loves
his wife...
them.
Yeah. If his wife is Leah Brahms, I'm going to flip a fucking table.
Oh, I think the whole internet will. She's a hologram, damn it.
Half the internet wants her to be, I think. The other half is sense. I haven't looked, but I assume.
Fuck internet.
Again,
there's plenty of people that don't understand why that relationship was hugely inappropriate on Geordi's part.
Yeah, no.
That's upsetting.
Yeah, again, I haven't seen this, but I'm assuming because nerds are often bad at understanding misogyny.
I don't know. So far, the only people I've seen who've brought it up are saying, oh God, please no.
Good,
just continue letting it be unnamed uterus. That's all we need is an unnamed uterus.
If you have to name her, don't be Leah, please.
Yeah, here's what it's going to be. It's going to be Admiral Benteen.
Oh gosh, her. The other person that Leah Brahms' actor played.
Yes.
I'll allow that. That's fine.
No, you know what it's going to be? He's finally going to have gotten back together with Coco Loco Woman.
Christy?
Moko. Christy, yeah, whatever her name was, sure.
I think it was Christy.
That sounds right.
It does sound right.
I don't know. He was kind of shitty to her, too, though.
Yeah, but maybe as he got older and wiser, they got back together, and she's like, oh, you're not an idiot now. Okay.
And he was like, no, I am, just in new and exciting ways.
Here's the thing. It's just because, as you said, Jake, I love, by the way, the term member berries. Because everything this season has been a member berry, it can't just be a new person.
Oh, no. Please, Benteen. Please, Benteen.
Pulaski.
Oh,
God.
no.
Ooh. I'm into it.
No, she's only her and Worf.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Oh, my God,
Yes.
Yeah, that's going to turn out to be Worf's wife when, Worf remarried.
Okay, that is the one dumb bit of fan service I would take. During the big final battle, she charges in with a bat left beside him to kick some ass.
Oh, I love it.
Diana Muldaur, I think, is still kicking.
She is. She was in one of those documentaries we watched recently.
Let's see. No, it's going to be Sonia...
Please,
Gomez?
no.
Gomez.
Good God, no. This is why we don't cover the shows as they come out, because it just turns into us making dumb predictions and terrible ideas.
It's so fun.
But we do have...
That's actually a good reason for us to do it, though.
True. But not in the same episode where we're covering Voyager.
True.
Because...
No, I know it's going to be...
Damn it. I keep trying to move us on and we can't. We're stuck in season 3 Picard.
Keiko LaForge.
No. Don't you dare.
Why Keiko?
I don't know.
Because she's left Miles, obviously.
Because she's finally left that load Miles.
I prefer to think that Miles left her.
Yeah, no, that's probably more likely.
Look, I liked them by the end of DS9.
I mean, I did too, but I still don't want Keiko to be the one that left him. That's all.
I don't want them to have left each other at all.
Maybe one of them died. Finally, one of the Miles deaths caught up to him.
Oh, no.
No, Miles is going to end up being the hero who saves the
Oh, my God.
season.
Maybe that's going to be the new Star Trek show. Star Trek O'Brien. I would
People
watch
would love
the
that.
fuck out of that forever.
It's just Mr. Bean set in the 25th century.
Hey, they can always option my my fanfic.
Yeah, I
Get
like
Garrett
it.
Wang and Miles together and
That'd be a good show. Damn.
pop in universes.
With adult Molly.
Yeah, be a good damn show.
All right, I'm going to move us on to the one
Yes.
final parent I have on my list, and that is jumping to Strange New Worlds with Dr. Mbega.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's got a girl in the transporter.
Seems a little weird to me.
I mean,
Well,
he's
you
trying
just-
to save her from a horrible disease that's going to kill her. So.
Yeah,
I know, but still, damn.
Well, he's got her in stasis, but he can't just put her in a tube because people would notice. So it's got to be transporter
I
stasis.
thought it had to be specifically transporter stasis.
Oh, was it? I
I
honestly
think
don't
so.
remember.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because like that's one where you're like literally frozen in time.
True.
Okay.
Yeah. I just feel like we didn't see enough of it. Like I think I said that when we kind of did our season 1 Strange New Worlds 10 forward. It was just like they didn't give me enough time to get invested in the plot before they dropped it.
Well, they
Yeah.
didn't drop it. They
Concluded it. But,
yeah.
But like it still kind of felt, I don't know, like even though it was a conclusion, it still felt like they dropped it. It was weird. I don't know. He certainly means well.
Yeah,
But I
he
didn't see
certainly loves her. Like any of the scenes with him reading to her from the book is very cute.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really like them together, and you can see how much it is like crushing him that he can't cure her illness.
Yeah. So he seems fine.
I don't know if we ever see the actual parent of the child that has to be executed.
Oh yeah, we do.
On the planet that executes a child every now and again.
Yeah, because that was the parent was actually trying to save him at some point, right?
Oh, that was actually his dad?
I thought it was.
I can't remember. Let's go with yes.
I mean, I still think it's worth mentioning that what an awful planet.
Oh, terrible planet. And again, yes, either his father or his legal guardian, he was trying to save him from that terrible, terrible fate. So good for him.
Yeah, it's also tricky because, like he had originally agreed to it for the longest time until it finally sneaks up on you like, oh, it's happening tomorrow. Shit.
Good
But
point.
it's one of those planets that this is the norm. This is
Yeah.
expected. Like, the father lived with it up to that date, just like, yes, this is what parenting my child is. It is making sure he lives long enough to become a horrible, tortured thing.
Worse planet than the Half-a-Life planet.
Yeah,
Kraylon?
Definitely worse than
at least
Half-a-Life,
there they
yeah.
let you get older.
Yeah.
But I guess, for that matter, this planet, it's only one child, so
Yikes.
all
But,
the
like-
other children are having a great time.
Well, it's one every however
how
many
often
years.
though? Like 10,000 years or something?
No, it seems pretty frequent.
Yeah, I don't think it was that infrequent, yeah.
Yeah, they get burnt out pretty quick.
Ditto. That's just from life, though.
True.
All right, well, I think I've exhausted my list of parrots from all of the new Treks.
Happy Mother's Day. I don't actually know if this is going up on Mother's Day, but it'd be funny. Oh, no,
It will definitely not, because it's
No.
April right now.
Yeah, but no, you're probably right. Oh, well.
Oh, well. So happy Mother's Day in advance. Your card is in the mail. Anyway, we have more cards in the mail for next week, because next week we're doing more Voyager stuff, like we do.
Woo. Yay.
In the mail, we have episodes Muse and Fury. So that should be a fun week. Join us for that as we'll talk about those. We'll have more blogtivities next week. This one that we just talked about just now, and our other parenting blogtivity, and tons of other blogtivities are up on our Tumblr. You can get there by going to sshbpodcast.com or just searching Tumblr, do the whole Tumble thing.
Yeah, they've let softcore porn back, so,
Woo! I won't be
Yeah,
releasing
right.
that.
Dirty
Someone else
things.
can. What else do? We do SoundCloud, where we have more of the podcast up. I know we've
Where
covered...
where they're bringing back softcore porn again.
Yay! But it's only audio. Weird. Right. It's just a lot of slapping sounds. Where was I going with any of this?
I'm sorry.
Cards
We're
in
on
the mail.
SoundCloud.
Yes. On SoundCloud. So yeah, in the past we did cover the first season of Strange New World, the first season of Prodigy, the first season of the other one.
Discovery.
Picard. No, we only covered the first 2 episodes of Discovery because we were fools.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, we were still finding our feet.
Yeah, but you can check out those and find out what kind of stuff we said before. I think we also, mentioned people being terrible parents because everybody is.
Especially Worf.
Worf's pretty bad. Yeah, so check us out there. We're on all the different podcast places where you can listen to us. We're also on Facebook and Twitter, which exist. And we'll be back next week. Until then, this has been your Good Shepherd Ames.
This has been Caitlin.
Jake.
And this has been your deeply middling shepherd, Chris. Oh God, my sheep are everywhere.
Sheep,
They're everywhere.
No!
Oh fuck, wolves. Oh no! Why did I invite a wolf to my sheep party?